All right. Hello again, Avengers, and welcome to another exciting daily vlog. It's Daily Vlog 2025, day number 27. And today, is going to be a sad one because I'm in that kind of mood. The absolute worst part of disability is how useless you feel. What got me thinking about this today? I am a huge fan, just in general, of any kind of restaurant rescue style show. Kitchen Nightmares. Can't remember the one that Robert Irvine used to do. Maybe he still does. I don't know. Restaurant Impossible. There we go. Bar Rescue. Just any of that stuff. I simply adore it. Partially because due to my family's history in restaurants in general, I understand enough to know where the problems are before the show has to point them out. And that's just kind of fun because I sit there going, oop, that's a problem, that's a problem, that's a problem. And then to have like Gordon Ramsay come in and go, that's a problem, you dingbat, that's a problem. And point out the exact same things makes me feel good. Second of all, that's what I used to do in retail. I wasn't quite as extravagant as any, I'm not John Taffer, I'm not Gordon Ramsay, I'm not Robert Irvine. I wouldn't come in, call people a donut, and then scream at them for a while. But I was exceptionally good at being able to walk into a store, spend 20-30 minutes there observing what's going on, and have a look over their numbers and be able to tell them exactly what they needed to fix in order to meet sales goals or in order to meet staffing goals or whatever it is. And for me, as much as I hated retail, that was really fun. Like being able to go in, and again, I wasn't there to yell at people. I wasn't there to shit on people's jobs, though it did happen on occasion, nowhere near as often as it happens on, like, Kitchen Nightmares. But to be fair, on Kitchen Nightmares, you have a Michelin star chef who happens to also have millions of dollars at his disposal that he's going to be or thousands of dollars that he's going to be investing in your restaurant, and a fucking camera crew. Like, he can get away with a lot due to the fact that he's like, yeah, I have shit tons of money and a camera crew. If you talk back to me, which does happen fairly regularly, you are always going to look like the bad guy because I pay the editor. I would have never gotten away with anything like that. I had no money to invest, only money that could possibly be made. And I had no clout or anything aside from my own experience and my own sales record. But when I saw a problem, I generally could go in and I could come up with a solution. Now, whether that solution would be implemented was generally not my call. I had store managers where I would lay out everything. I go, hey, this is what we need to do. If we do this, this is the results it'll be. And the store manager would go, yeah, I don't think you're right. And I went, okay, you keep on doing the same thing and hoping for a different result. but it was something I was really good at. And I've had a chance to do some stuff like that since I've been disabled on a significantly smaller scale. I've had a few projects where people have said, hey, there's a problem here, and I've been able to analyze the problem and come up with a solution. I don't think any of them have been, well, let's be blunt. I don't think any of them, but, well, one of them has been mostly successful. It wasn't exactly the success that I wanted it to be, but it was at a better place than it used to be. The other two just didn't work. They worked while I was actively working on them, but as soon as I stepped away, because I physically can't do stuff like that for more than a very, very short amount of time, they kind of fizzled out and died. And even those just brief glimpses of being useful again were really nice. So anyway, I was watching an episode of Kitchen Nightmares because I love trash TV like that. Kitchen Nightmares is an interesting show in general. Like Gordon Ramsay understands what makes compelling television, and he also understands the restaurant business probably better than almost anyone else currently running restaurants. Like he's very, very good at what he does. However, the stuff that he does on Kitchen Nightmares is not great. Yeah, it works for the show, but Kitchen Nightmares in and of itself does not have a phenomenal track record with stores or restaurants remaining open after Kitchen Nightmares goes through. To be fair, restaurants in general don't tend to make it past the 5-year mark, just ever. And the restaurants that he's dealing with are already in massive amounts of debt and been fucking themselves over for a long time. So there's some that are just beyond the point of being able to salvage. But a lot of the stuff that he does makes for really great television, does not make for really good training and improvement. And so I watching this episode, and I'm seeing all this stuff that's going on, and my brain always goes to, well, if I was there, Gordon Ramsay shows up at my door, calls me a donut, and says, hey, I need your help, I need these people trained. I'm going through my head and I'm building training plans and coming up with interesting ways that I can get certain points to kind of stick into people's minds and stuff like that. And I've done this since my mid-20s. When I was watching shows like this, I'd always sit there and go, oh, if I was there, I would do this and this and this and this. And that's just always how it's been. I do the same thing with Critical Role. Back when I used to watch it religiously, I created fun fact, every campaign that, every major campaign that Critical Role has done, I have created a character for that campaign. In the bizarre idea that Matt Mercer shows up at my door, calls me a nerd, and then says, hey, come play with us. I have a character pre-made. Aether, my favorite character I've ever played in 5th edition, was created as the character that I would play if I joined Vox Machina. I can't remember my Campaign 2 character that I made. It might have been a variation on that card throwing character that I really liked. I can't remember. My Campaign 3 character was a what was it? The healing subclass monk. I can't remember what it's called right now because seizures suck. But Uh, he was a heron guy. He was a bunny. He was a bunny monk, and he used a pair of bunchucks as his weapons. And yeah, I just kind of do that when I watch stuff. I go, well, what if I was doing that? And I plan and things like that. It helps when you live in a basement to pretend that you don't live in a basement and that you have friends and things like that and that people care about you. So I'm watching Kitchen Nightmares and I'm going, oh, I probably would have done this and would have done this. And it just kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. If I was there, I couldn't do a damn thing. I would have a panic attack. I'd have a seizure. And then I'd have to go back home. And it's just a really sobering situation. I haven't drank in over a decade. But when even your fantasies can't get around the fact that your disability prevents you from doing the vast majority of the things that you want. Just really sucks. Anyway, if anyone's worried, I'm okay. I'm just depressed. It happens. I actually had therapy today, which didn't go particularly well. Not because my therapist isn't wonderful. She's amazing. But one of the side effects of my seizures is I tend to develop some amnesia. And so most of last week I can't remember. And the last few days are a bit hit and miss. So I talked about my seizure and how bad this particular one was. It was worse than a lot that I've had within the past few years. And I was having a really hard time recovering from it. And I ran out of things to talk about the seizure, because there's only so much you can talk about a seizure. And so she asked, well, what else did you do all week? I'm like, I haven't the foggiest idea. I can't remember the majority of the week. It's just kind of a haze. And that also really messed with me. There's just a lot of kind of sobering situations recently, and I'm reminding myself of my rather severe limitations. It just kind of sucks. But like I said, if you're worried, I'm okay. I'm just depressed. It really sucks. But it ends. Depression doesn't last forever. I just really needed this to say something about it. Anyway, it's all for me today. See you guys next time. Alright. Bye-bye.